we need to master the art of letting it go. What Keisha Cole say? You need to let it go. Stop letting them overstay their welcome in our lives when they don't deserve to be there. Using our discernment and paying attention to our intuition, because it always tells us, it always lets us know when something or somebody is for us or not. I know we have experienced some sort of relationship in our life, whether that's an intimate relationship, family, friends, a work relationship, where you know you should have been let that go a long time ago. But we stick around because we see the potential. We see the potential of what it could be or what we want it to be, right? See me? I don't believe in potential no more. I sure don't. I don't believe in potential no more. To me, potential is just the figment of our imagination. Potential is what we think somebody or something could be, when in all reality, that person may have no intention on ever being any of those things that you think that they are capable of being. We get caught up in the idea of what we want it to be like, you know? So we stick around, we give them chance after chance, we be patient, thinking things would change. And the next thing you know, it's 10 years later and it's still the same old cycle. Same old cycle. I stayed in a relationship 7 years longer than what I should have, banking on potential. I kept telling myself, like, okay, you know what? Well, maybe when he graduates and he gets his job, you know, maybe he'll change and become, you know, more of the person I want him to be. Thinking with all these different changes in his life that he was going to shape more into the partner that I thought he could be. And obviously that never happened. Never. Now, you know, my situation was a little complicated. We had children. I was young, you know, and we had been together for a long time. I was very comfortable. It was all I knew. So, you know, it was a combination of things that kept me from just cutting it off quick and letting it go, you know. But then once shit hit the fan, when I tell y'all, honey, I cut it off. And it's been cut ever since. Never looked back. Never looked back. I think the hardest scenario is family, right? Because we have this idea of what society tells us family should be like, right? Like what a relationship with your mother or your father, or even a relationship with your kids should be like. And it's like, even if this is a toxic relationship and this person does not respect you and treat you like shit, you still stick around and just kind of forgive and forget all of the bullshit just because this is your mother, or just because this is, you know, your father, or just because this is your kid. But at the end of the day, we are still human beings, and no one deserves to live in misery. No one, regardless of what the relationship is, how long you've been with somebody, no one deserves to live in misery. That's why so many of us walk around carrying so much trauma. We have allowed so many people to drain us of our energy. Like, we don't never resolve these issues. We just, you know, sweep them under the rug and keep on living life just because of, you know, whatever the relationship is to you. And that's unfair. That's a horrible, horrible, horrible way to live life. It's so unhealthy. You start to see those same patterns and behaviors in other areas of your life. And it's not good for growth. In order to grow truly, we need to have a healthy mind, spiritually, physically, and mentally. Now, no relationship is perfect. Everybody is going to have their issues at some point in time. But there is a way to go about communicating and resolving those issues in a healthy manner so you guys can come together and continue to grow together. It's not okay for people to treat you like dirt and then just keep on going with life and think that they can't hold themselves accountable, or that they don't have to apologize, or that they don't have to communicate and resolve those issues, you know? And people that operate on that frequency, they gotta go. You gotta let them go. You gotta let them go so you can grow, so you can live a life of abundance, and you can live a life of true happiness and authenticity. It's nothing worse than having all this built up trauma and issues inside of you, and you just pretending, waking up pretending every day like you okay, when in all reality you really are hurt on the inside. It's really mastering the art of detachment. Detaching from the idea of what we feel like things are supposed to be like. Detaching ourselves from the idea of what we think people are supposed to be like. Oh, that's my mom. She's supposed to treat me like this. No, you got to look at everybody as individual people, regardless of what their relationship is to you. Yes, that person may be your husband, but he may be a horrible person. And just because you went on to make him your husband does not mean that he's gonna just now all of a sudden be a great person to you, when at root he's a horrible person. Detachment is a very hard thing to master. It's an everyday struggle for me. It's detaching from the idea of what I think life should be like, what I think this relationship should be, because this is what society tells us the relationship is supposed to look like, and accepting the reality of what it really is. In certain situations, as I started to accept and really see people and situations for who and what they truly are, it was really just like a wake-up call for me, because I'm like, dang, man, like, I don't want it to be this way, but this is just the way it is. So, LaBrittany, what are you going to do? How are you going to deal with it? You know, because at the end of the day, you know you can't change nobody but yourself. And if that person isn't willing to change, or at least work with you to change and make things better, then guess what? You got to let it go. You got to let it go. Or you're going to stay there and stay in misery. And I can't live my life in misery. You know, I've experienced a lot of trauma in my life, from being a mother as a teenager, you know, growing up in a single parent household. Just so many things that I know have a huge effect on how I operate and how I think every single day. As I get older, I'm just like, I want to be happy. You know, I want to have a healthy mind. I want to have a healthy spirit, you know, and I want my environment to be a healthy environment. I want, you know, the people that are around me to be genuine, authentic, loving people, you know, not people that I gotta walk on eggshells with, not people that I gotta question their motives. You feel me? Like, that's not a good feeling at all. It's just not. So just really truly looking at people or situations and writing down like how they truly make you feel, their actions and who they really are, and really how they operate, and paying attention to who they truly are and how they truly operate, as opposed to, you know, getting caught up in your mind on trying to control who they are, or thinking, you know, they have the potential to be this and be that. No, you got to look at the real, pay attention to what's real. And that's how you're going to be able to decide if that person or if that situation is truly for you. And if it's not, let it go. Do yourself a favor, let it go. And let God align you with the things and people that are for you. Flat out.